Now, in a bid to avoid grey listing, Kenya is eyeing a Bitcoin regulation. Locally here at home, cryptocurrency is subject to taxation, while the financial sector conduct authorities in the process of issuing licenses to crypto asset service providers. And as cryptocurrency adoption grows across the continent, a number of African countries have implemented some restrictions in this regard. And Marius, Reitz, who's Africa General Manager for cryptocurrency platform at Lunos, joins us with more insights on developments around cryptocurrency regulation in Africa. Marius, a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Hi, Narutanda.
I think we're certainly past the phase where anybody thought crypto was some sort of a fad that would come and go. It's quite evident that everywhere around the world and even here on the continent, crypto's here to stay.
Yes, no, for sure. I think crypto has grown into a $2 trillion asset class globally. It is forming part of the global financial system now. Earlier this year, we saw the approval of 11 Bitcoin spot ETFs in the US, now trading on the NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. And Bitcoin surpassed silver as the second largest commodity ETF in the US. So we've seen tremendous growth in the crypto market from an investment perspective, but also locally in Africa, we're seeing that Africa is one of the fastest growing regions in terms of global crypto adoption as well. And Nigeria is ranked second globally according to Chainalysis in terms of adoption. So there's been a tremendous rise in adoption locally as well across the African continent and emerging markets at large. And I think if we look at the factors driving that growth, firstly, it's becoming easier for people and safer for people to access crypto. The awareness of crypto and the use cases have improved as well. And I think emerging markets at large, I think there are many macroeconomic factors also, interest rates, inflation, depreciating local currencies, that's also driven some people into looking at crypto as an alternative store of value as well.
I want to talk about the adoption also that we're seeing on the African continent here, and how many or what kinds of cryptocurrencies we are seeing being mined on the continent. Are we seeing a lot of them still being mined abroad? And so Africa will still catch up in this regard, which actually then is opportunity for a new and a booming taking up of a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so I think Bitcoin as the first cryptocurrency is still by far the most popular. So looking at our data on Lunos, Bitcoin still accounts for more than 60% of the overall volumes on the platform. And I think many people associate Bitcoin as the safest because it has the longest track record. It's been around for almost 15 years now. But we're seeing other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Solana, XRP also seeing improved adoption levels. And I think that's purely as more people become aware of them. But we should also be extremely wary. There are more than 20,000 different cryptocurrencies globally at this point, of which probably 95% of those won't succeed in the long run. So I think it's very important that for people, when they consider investing in crypto, buying crypto, to buy those that have been around for a long time with a track record, with a history. But definitely, I think we're seeing more, especially more savvy crypto investors turning to other cryptocurrencies as a means of diversifying their crypto exposure.
And what we see a lot on the continent, Marius, is just local currencies for African countries really being weak, really battling against the rand. I'm wondering if the uptake of crypto is also maybe to counter that a little bit. It is something that is possibly less volatile than traditional currency.
Look, I think cryptocurrencies are a highly volatile asset class. So I think whilst there are definitely some more savvy investors that will hold a small percentage of their overall assets in crypto, let's say 5%. I don't think currently at this point in South Africa specifically, we're seeing most customers buying crypto as a store of value. I think many do. Looking at other markets like Nigeria, where the Nigerian naira has depreciated, I think there's a stronger demand potentially. But I think on average, what we're seeing is that we're seeing most people still being curious about crypto. So they're entering the market. The average first transaction size of Lunos is around 400 Rand. So we're seeing customers buying relatively small amounts, experimenting. And then as they become more confident, they will then purchase more. So I think it's also a good learning. If you've not heard of crypto and you're interested, start small. On Lunos, you can buy 1 Rand on Lunos. So I think it's really accessible to everyone.
And regulation, how are we with that? And also standardizing it across the world. What we do see with financial markets is often global bodies need to be formed in order to ensure that, we all speak the same language there in terms of regulation and the direction of it. Are we seeing something similar emerging for crypto?
Yes, well, I think in Africa specifically, countries like South Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, I think there's been a lot of positive work done by regulators, and I think it's largely because of the fact that we've seen a large spike in adoption. So I think it's important for consumer protection. At Luno, we are pro, so we think that a regulation will make it safer and easier for consumers to differentiate between scammers and licensed platforms, and we think in general it will make the industry safer for new entrants to enter. So I think definitely positive. We're seeing the African regulators taking an approach that's very similar and aligned to global regulators, which is good because cryptocurrency is a global phenomenon. It's a global asset. It's not confined to a specific market. So we think that a global but a phased approach is very important.
Fantastic. Always a pleasure hearing about crypto. Marius, thank you so much for speaking to us this afternoon. That was Marius Reitz. He's Africa General Manager for cryptocurrency platform at Lunos.